Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. Thank you for checking out another brand new episode. Super excited to welcome back to the show my friend, Darian Poe. Had a great time linking up with Darian while she was in town. She recently been roaming around, and she went to Colorado and been living there for a while, and we sit and talk about that. We talk about a brand new record titled Time to Roam, and we play a couple of live acoustic takes on some of these songs you might be hearing on this record. And Time to Roam is due out on September 15th. Recorded here in St. Louis, Missouri with Paul Niehaus over at Blue Lotus Studios. So check him out. And you're going to hear all about it on today's episode. I do want to say thanks again for all the continued support of this show over all the years. I appreciate every one of you sticking with me. I would love for you to go visit my friends out at Friendship Brewing Company in Wentzville, Missouri, serving up all your craft beer needs. Over 25 rotating taps over there, all kinds of tasty beverages, delicious food, your burgers, nachos, flatbread pizzas, and salads, and daily specials, and all kinds of good stuff out there. Plus live music every weekend. And they just celebrated the 1 year of the Friendship Brewing location in Flint Hill, Missouri, Fly High. And they launched a brand new bourbon distillery part of the brand. So now you can get your whiskeys out there, and bourbons, and you can also get all your favorite great beers out there. And they've been doing the new pizzas out there. So come on out to Friendship Brewing and check it out. See what's going on with all this happening. So if you need more information, be sure to check out the socials, friendshipbrewingcompany.com for all the details. And we'll see you there. If you need anything else from me, you can always find me at rockpaperpodcast.com. Hit me up on the socials. Email me, rockpaperpodcast@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you. And with that out of the way, sit back, relax, and enjoy this brand new episode with Darian Poe.
Podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
This is Darian Poe, and you're listening to Rock Paper Podcast.
Rock Paper Podcast.
This is beat paper, paper covers rock. Rock beats is the Shane covers non-stop. Never know what new kind of guest that he's got coming at you. Live and direct on the spot. Could be rock, folk, country, or hip-hop, jazz. All kind of folks that he has. Could be an artist or a comedian to make you laugh on the
Rock Paper Podcast.
double-decker fudge round, rolling round town. Shane coming at you live and direct from ground zero. He's your hero, he's your bestie. Rock Paper Podcast with Shane Presley.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Another year's come and gone, and I'm still singing the same old songs. Every bar in this run downtown, all I wanna do is get out. Same faces every night. Don't know if I'll be alright. I just gotta make it out alive. They say the grass ain't always greener, but it's time that I go home. And I'm tired of this city. This place don't feel like home. Every night I load my car.
Hey, everybody. Shane Presley, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. Hanging out tonight with returning guest, Darian Poe. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Actually, I should. You are a returning guest, but we have a new name now. We've since last time we recorded, you went and got married. So, congratulations officially from me on the show here.
Thank
But
you.
that was just a little over a year ago or so, right?
Yeah, April 22nd of last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's exciting.
Yeah, pretty fun stuff.
Still, that's how long do you think is for the newlywed thing? Like, how long do you think is that a year? You still call it newlywed, or is that any idea?
I have no idea.
I'm not sure what the proper timeline is on that, but
I'm not too sure.
but-
People still say it to
Yeah.
us. They're like, oh, the newlyweds.
Right.
I'm like, I don't know.
sure, it's still new.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what the official cutoff is on when you quit saying that, but no, it's that's exciting, and I'm real happy for you. And but yeah, we haven't got to hang out in a long time, so we got a lot to catch up on. I think first one it was like October 2020 or something, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Which is wild to think about. That was a weird time.
Yes, it was.
So I'm glad everything's much better now. But yeah, since that time, you put out your debut album in 23. You got married in 23. You know, hit the road. All these, we've got a lot of catching up to do. So
Yeah, 23 was a crazy year.
yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. This one of the big things was you and your husband like totally revamped a school bus
Yeah.
to make it your home on wheels, right?
Yes.
Where'd that idea come about?
So we got, what was that, last year? So it was 23. We bought a house right before we got married. And we were in there for about a year. And then we got married. And then I watch a lot of documentaries and grew up on a lot of music documentaries of a lot of musicians saying like, hey, how did you do this? And they're like, oh, well, I bought a van and I hit the road. I bought a bus and we hit the road. Or we got in the back of my station wagon. And a lot of it was I worship and looked up to Dave Grohl and watched a lot of his stuff. And TJ learned over the years that I throw some pretty crazy ideas at him and whatnot. And so one day I was like, hey, what if we bought a bus? Like a school bus, redid it, and went on the road. And he obviously told me I was absolutely insane. It's like, we just got home from our honeymoon. We're supposed to be settling down, and now you're wanting to buy a school bus and hit the road. So it took a little convincing. And I found a school bus on Marketplace while I was at work at one day, and supposed to be working, and I was on Marketplace and found one and told him, I was like, hey, I want to go look at something on Marketplace. And I was like, I'll swing by and pick you up and I'll drive and we'll just go there. So we had no questions asked. And then we pulled up and there was a school bus and he fought like hell and didn't want to do it and whatnot. And we walked around and looked inside of it. It was partially converted. So it already had almost everything done with it and everything. And we walked out there, and he was like, well, I don't know. We'll see. We got into the car, and I said, well, what do you think? And he's like, well, I think we're dumb if we don't get it.
Oh, yeah?
And so we went and got it, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
Brought it back here and tore it apart and painted it and put AC on it and heat on it. And
did you name it?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I don't know. It's Blue, so he calls it Blue.
Yeah.
But nothing witty yet.
Yeah. I don't know. I often, I'm probably much like yourself before you went and did it, but I kind of, fantasize about that lifestyle, like hitting the road and just, living off the land kind of thing, like and having a good time out there and seeing what, meeting people and playing music and all the, just it all sounds exciting. And it's, gets more difficult. I think I don't know that there's ever a time that you couldn't do it or anything. It just, but as you get like the houses and the, it's nice having the stability of the, and all this stuff like that. But there's something incredibly exciting about the unknown too, about, getting out there and seeing what happens and taking a chance on yourself. And I think that's the biggest part about it. Like, putting, like you're saying, all these people tell these stories about they took a chance and it paid off. And you can't sit around and think about what if all the time. So, I was, living, vicariously through your Facebook and stuff, trying to, it was cool to see these, pictures of you and the van or the bus and out in Colorado. And so that's Colorado's kind of become home away from home then, right?
Yeah, that was our first, we originally were planning on going to California, and then when we were about to head out to California, they got some crazy hurricanes and stuff, and we were unsure of a couple things, and I was like, so what if we only go like halfway, and why don't we go to Colorado? I've always wanted to show him the mountains. He's never seen the mountains in Colorado. He's been out to California, and so I was like, I love Denver. I love Colorado Springs and whatnot. Let's go out to Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's... So I haven't really talked a ton about it on the show yet, but me and my wife have been going out there twice now to Colorado in the Colorado Springs area. But it's beautiful. I mean, like we went to Garden of the Gods, and I'm like, this is like magical. It's just like it's something refreshing there. It's just like it's. I don't know. It's all the things. Like it's just like it's so cool to be surrounded by all the rocks and nature and all the animals that are running around and everything else. And so we can't wait to get back there. And the last time we went, we tried to check out a couple of different parks, and that's what we usually do out there just because it's free. And so we're bouncing around a couple of different trails and hiking around, and it was but it's some beautiful country out there for sure.
Oh, it definitely is. I miss the mountains so much.
Yeah. How's music going out there? Do you get to play quite a bit? Are you trying to work your way into the scene out there?
Yeah, it was interesting going out there. I didn't really know what to expect because I've never really. I mean, I moved to Vegas and I didn't really play music very much out there, and that wasn't really my aspect out there. But moving to going out to Colorado, I was hitting the ground running, and I had a couple shows before we went out there pre-booked that I booked myself, and we got there, and I think this first or second night we got out there, I went to an open mic night at this little pizza tavern, and that ended up being our like home away from home, our go-to place, and played up there, and they were like, oh my goodness, who are you? Where are you? And of course I introduced myself. I'm like, hi, my name's Darian Poe. From St. Louis, Missouri. And everybody's like, what are you doing here? Right. Why are you in Colorado? And so it was really cool. And It was really fun joining their music scene and meeting everybody. And it's kind of like St. Louis, where everybody knows everybody. Everybody goes to every open mic night, which is really interesting because it's such a big area out there that, I don't know, it's like you cross the river here, but out there I'll meet people from Denver that I'll see up in Fort Collins near where we were living, or Loveland or whatnot. And definitely met a lot of people and made some friends with a lot of people out there, and really, really cool musicians, and felt like I fit in pretty well out there. And
yeah. It seems like your style would fit in well with a lot of like what's kind of become Colorado music, like more folk and grassy and kind of string arrangements on a lot of stuff, and it seems like that's a little bit more of that music coming out of that way. So
yeah, I was definitely they were a couple places were excited. They were like, "Oh my gosh, you play Tyler Childers? Yeah. You know Tyler Childers?" I'm like, yeah, I know who Tyler Childers. Are you kidding me?
Sure.
Yeah.
That guy's pretty good.
Yeah, he's all right. Yeah.
I wanted to tell you, I thought you'd get a kick out of it when I was listening to your record on Spotify. As you finish the album, it kicks up other suggested artists, and next one up was Tyler Childers. So I thought that was pretty cool that Spotify is lumping you in there with him. So
an honor.
Yeah,
I worship him.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really, that's still one that haunts me is it was supposed to be him and Sturgill at Chaffetz that got canceled and never happened. And I'm like, it would have been such an incredible night. And, and I'm bummed that we'll never know, because those two went on to become way bigger stars now. It's like, they're going to need a bigger arena to get them in there now. Oh, yes,
they will.
But yeah, both doing huge things, and it's cool to see, and hopefully I can get a chance to see both of them again sometime soon.
Yeah, I just saw that Sturgill announced some stuff.
Yeah, and actually I was surprised that he's actually doing Fox, right? Yeah, he's doing a theater still, which is like, I mean, for me, I feel like he would much rather do a theater, I think. Like, it just seems like he's that kind of artist that not really worried about putting 10,000 people in a place. He's just worried about sound.
Yeah, he just wants to jam.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him some time pretty soon after like Michael Brown stuff in town, and he says something, about just that kind of didn't really address it, but like just said something like, heard you guys could use a party, and just imagine we're in a garage and cranked up and something like that, and and it was definitely good because there was a lot on everybody's minds. It was nice to have a night to where we could just enjoy the music, and but yeah, it was it's cool that the way he said that, though. Like I thought it was nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, he both of those guys are great. But hopefully one of these days, maybe they'll be listening to somebody will be listening to Tyler Childers and kick up some Darian Poe in there, and get some more spins on those tracks. And
that'd be pretty sweet. I did notice on the probably about a month ago, I was snooping through my own Spotify, and it said artists like you, and it said Ava Brothers. Oh, yeah. And I thought that was, like, man, this is on my page. That's it's pretty sweet.
Sure.
Yeah, I've definitely looked up to them for a long while as well.
Yeah, that's cool that even to see your name side by side with those, like, gotta feel good.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about some more music. We've mentioned your first record is now readily available on all your streaming platforms, so be sure to go check that out and click follow if you haven't. But we are currently in studio working on a brand new record.
Yep.
And this is going to be titled Time to Roam and due out very soon on September 15th. And we wanted to give you a little sneak peek of what Darian's been up to and some of these songs. And let's, you want to start with Out of Sight, Out of Mind?
Let's do it.
Yeah. What would you like to tell us about Out of Sight, Out of Mind?
Oh boy, it's a heck of a song.
Yeah.
It's kind of about living on the road, and there was a lot of people that said like, don't forget about us when you leave and whatnot, and it didn't reciprocate on the backside of it, but I don't know, it's a really good song. It's just talking about life on the road, and just it's a very eye-opening experience living out on the road and kind of doing your own thing.
Right.
My phone ain't been ringing since I left this town. No, I ain't complaining. Ought to be different this time around. Don't know these songs I'm singing, the changes that I've made. All I hear you saying, you wish I would have stayed. They said don't forget this small town that you left. But I've learned in time, you're out of their sight, you're out of their mind. I chose to roam, live this life out on the road. You choose stay in line. That's your choice, but it ain't mine. So I'll keep on rolling down these lonesome roads. There ain't no controlling how this life goes. They said don't forget that small town that you left. But I've learned in time, you're out of their sight, you're out of their mind. I've learned in time, you're out of their sight, you're out of their mind.
I don't know, all the details to your stories, but as I was listening, as you performed it today, that's, really comes through. Like in both of these songs we do today, there, feels like I can picture you in the bus, writing these songs, and
Yeah.
they feel like they're very autobiographical, right out of your travels. And
Yeah.
so is that do you feel like that's, they always say write what you know.
Yeah.
That's what I hear a lot, and I guess you take that right
Take it to
there.
heart a little more.
Right.
Yeah. Definitely writing the whole album, it's a lot about traveling, it's a lot about leaving, it's a lot about finding yourself, I watched TJ find himself out there, and it was a very cool experience to watch him grow into the person that he is now and the person that I've become out there. And it's kind of the whole shebang is just like it's time to roam. It's time to get out of here. And yeah, so I wrote a couple of them. I wrote Time to Roam here in Illinois, but almost all of the rest of them are written, whether it was we were broke down in Wakini, Kansas for 3 days. The bus broke down and wrote a song out there. But yeah, so.
Well, I drove through that town like on my way to Colorado.
Yeah.
And I always laugh because I always think Wakini Bottom. That's what I always say to myself.
Yeah. Yep, we were broke down at a KOA there for 3 days.
That's a bummer.
I got a song out of it, so I'll take it.
Right. Yeah. Broke down in a KOA. That sounds like a country song right there.
Exactly.
So.
It's a good place to be broken down at.
Sure.
They had showers and a bathroom and at least a gas station that we'd walk up to and get some food.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was the album is a lot from the heart and a lot from just learning a lot from the road and whatnot.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, obviously that's a learning moment. But do you have other road stories that it was something that really stands out, a learning moment or time you maybe wanted to give up and didn't, or anything else like that?
Yeah, I mean, just getting stranded out there, and I guess we weren't stranded. We had a car pulling behind, but it was definitely interesting, and we definitely that was the moment in time where we were like, oh hey, so like we sold our house, everything, you know, we have some stuff here at my mom's that we have stored away for when we come back. We'll get a house and stuff, and out in the Carolinas and stuff, but. Most of the stuff we needed was on the bus, and we were out in the middle of nowhere, and they were like, well, we can get parts in a week. We're like, a week? We got to get to Colorado, man. I got a show next Tuesday. Well, I can get the part by Wednesday. I'm like, I have to be in Colorado. So, I mean, it was, that was definitely a learning experience of like, this is your home. This is what you're doing. This is what you decided to do. And, you know, we kind of hunkered down and figured it out, and we got through it and whatnot, but we had a couple things in Colorado that tested us a little with the weather, and had some crazy hailstorms out there. We got stuck in one of them coming back from a Mighty Pines show out in Golden.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to the Mighty Pines. Finally got to see them.
Yeah.
Got to see them in Colorado, which was absolutely amazing, and got stranded on the side of the highway in a hailstorm, destroying a rental car that we were in, and it was terrifying.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it was more of an eye-opening experience than anything, just getting back to nature and taking him into the mountains and going up and exploring and just hitting the trails and taking Lilo places. And I mean, we kind of looked out with any unfortunate things or whatnot. We really enjoyed our time out there, and yeah.
Are either of you like automotive inclined? Like for when those things happen, are you guys able to fix it? Or
so my dad was an auto body mechanic and owned a body shop and stuff when I was a kid, and tried to teach me some stuff when I was a kid, and I probably didn't really care about it. He can change the oil and change the brakes on a car. All but it definitely reached out to some people that back here that knew a little bit more on buses and mechanical stuff. And thankfully, the KOA that we were at, they were like, oh yeah, people break down here all the time. I'm like, well, I'm glad you know that. They're like, we got a whole list for you. She's like, we recommend this guy. So he came out, and he's about as country to get.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you two doing in this school bus? We had the belt snapped and some pulleys broke, and so, but yeah, we were there for a couple days, and that was the real eye opener of like, hey, what are we doing?
All right. Yeah. I mean, it's I'm glad that you didn't give up though. Like, it's even as scary as it can be sometimes. Like that, you're gonna see it through.
Yeah.
What about the that's kind of some of the bad side of it. But what's the best time? What's the like other than you like I said, meeting people? Is there like and getting to see the mountains and all that? Is there a moment where you're like, this is all this is as things are finally, everything's paying off. Like this is why we're doing this. And
yeah, so I went out there with 3 shows, and I ended up doing I think like 32 shows out there, and that was at one point I couldn't keep track of what shows I was doing and whatnot, and I was like freaking out, what's happening? And TJ's like, hey, this is why we're here. Like, we're gonna figure this out and whatnot, and but I don't know, playing the shows, and that was all. I mean, every single time I got on stage, wherever I was playing at out there, it was, getting to tell people, like, yeah, I'm from Bethalto, but when I tell people out there I'm from Bethalto, they're like, can I have a city that you're near? Right. And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. So it was really cool, representing St. Louis out there and representing, I don't know, I just like the live music scene from back home and stuff. And it was really exciting, but I don't know. I've always wanted to see Mighty Pines, and seeing Neil announce that Mighty Pines was coming to Golden, Colorado, I think that was the highlight of my entire trip was going down to Golden and seeing the Mighty Pines and just dancing all night and singing all night, and it felt like home away from home. And yeah.
That's funny though, like to think about, like, they're from St. Louis, and you had to go, all the way to so.
Yeah, because we ended up, Neil got off, I bought a Mighty Pines hat, and we walked up, and TJ had a St. Louis shirt on, and I've met Neil a couple times, but I don't know if he's ever met TJ, and he's like, I know you, who are you? And I was like, well, this is my husband, and he's like, where, you guys come from St. Louis? I'm like, kind of, but no, we're living here, but we are in a school bus, and we were talking to him about it, and he's like, oh my gosh, it's so cool. And he was really excited to see us there. And yeah,
that's fun. It's cool that you got to make that happen.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of some shows, you booked yourself a little run here in town while home visiting, and we got a couple of shows, a couple of good opportunities. You can come out and see Darian live, and August 26th, you'll be doing a fundraising show at Global Brew in Edwardsville, Illinois. And what was that for?
St. Jude.
St. Jude, yeah. So that's exciting. A good help the kids and have a good time out there.
Yeah, they do a bunch of raffles, and all the musicians sign a guitar, and I think they raffle it off, and it all goes to St. Jude's and the Children's Hospital and stuff. I love being a part of it. It's awesome.
Yeah. September 7th, you'll be making your debut at Venue on Main.
Yeah.
And Belleville.
Yep.
And that's a cool space for sure. That's a great, like, a little listening room type of setting, right? So
yeah, I've never been there in my life. They messaged me last night, and they said there's like a fall festival going on that day, and they messaged me, and I was like, sure, I'd love to.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been bringing a lot of good people through. There's not a lot of touring artists, and Neil just played over there with Beth Bombara the other night.
Yeah.
And then like Jordan Rayner from The Voice also was. I think she's kind of become a favorite over there. She's been here twice in the last several months, but it's cool to see that they're getting out there supporting all these people. So yeah, snag some tickets to come out to Venue on Main. And then you got a busy day on September 14th. You're going to start your day over at Festival Foodstock.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to hightail it over to Stagger Inn.
Yep.
And a big album release party.
Oh, yeah.
So is that, let's talk about that night, though. This is, I guess, all night, or are you going to?
That'll be I think me all night.
Yeah.
We talked about bringing some other people in, but I'm not too sure yet. But yeah.
Because we did bring some people in on this record.
We did. Brought some people in. Yeah. I got Paul Niehaus and Donnie Carter, Arkansas Blues Man, whatever you want to call him.
All right.
Playing bass on that. And then I got Aaron Joe Paddlefoot Weber on fiddle. And singing. And I'm singing and playing guitar and doing drums. And
yeah. Nice. Yeah. Paul Niehaus at Blue Lotus Studios in St. Louis, Missouri. So he did all your recording and engineering and mixing and mastering and all that, right?
Yes.
So
all the above.
Yeah. He's a really talented man and a great friend of the show. And but it's cool that you got to link up with him again for this new record.
Oh yeah, he's extremely talented, and I was very excited to message him out on the road and say, "Hey, I'm gonna be home from this time to this time. Can I come in?" And he was like, "Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let me know. I'm here for you." So, yeah.
What now? Like saying compared to first record and this second record now. The first, I know I listened to the first one like twice on the drive over, just to kind of getting the right frame of mind and all that. And it's pretty stripped down. I think is it all? That's all you and guitar,
it's just
right?
me, just singing and playing guitar.
Yeah. And then so it's cool that this one's going to have a little bit more production and orchestration to these songs with some accompaniment.
Oh yeah.
So I'm excited to hear what those sound like.
Oh yeah, very excited for everybody to hear them.
Yeah, and you have you done much of that? Have you like if playing as a band wise?
I mean, I've not as of late. I mean, I played all solo stuff out in Colorado, and being back so far, it's been pretty solo stuff other than the studio. But I mean, back in the day, I would jam with my dad and Donnie Carter on guitar and stuff over at Gramophone, and that's kind of where it all started. But yeah.
So you and Donnie go way back, huh?
Go way back, yeah. He was in a band with my dad when I was a teenager, and got on an open mic night up at Gramophone, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna want to do this the rest of my life, and tried to make it happen every day since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad that Donnie's the one to help kind of light the fire for you too. Like it's cool that he's a part of. He's a great guy and another great friend too. Like we've become buds working down at Oyster Bar, and I got to see him almost every week for about 5 years. So we had a lot of fun together.
Yeah, it was very very cool. And that's when I decided I was coming home, I figured I was going to try to put a couple people on the album for like, these are the reasons of, music inspiration and stuff. And that's the other part. I like Aaron Joe with her being on there. I first met Erin when I was a teenager about the same time, and she was playing with Hookie over here playing fiddle, and it was about the only female musician that was over here that I knew of and met, and really looked up to her, and she's a hell of a musician.
Yeah, she's badass.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm a big fan. And well, that's cool. I'm glad that they answered the call. And,
yeah, me too.
And, got to make all that happen on this record. So So keep an eye out. September 15th. Like I said, the release party September 14th. Stagger in Edwardsville, Illinois. I almost said Missouri. And then we'll be able to get it on all your favorite streaming platforms the next day on the 15th.
Yep.
And again, titled Time to Roam. And you'll be hearing a lot more about it in the next coming days and weeks and stuff. So, and then closing it out, your little like going away party.
Yeah.
On September 20th at the Corner Tavern in Edwardsville.
Coincidental, that'll be the second farewell show that has happened at that Corner Tavern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so come out and see Darian in town while you can, and throw a couple bucks in the tip jar and put some gas in the tank of the bus. So.
Oh yeah.
We do have one more we wanted to share, another live acoustic take on a tune, and this one's called Some Crazy Years, and this will appear on Time to Roam. And what would you like to tell us about Some Crazy Years?
All right, so Some Crazy Years, I wrote out in Colorado. A friend of mine, he goes by H. He's everywhere around here. He does all the St. Jude stuff and everything, and he's running Foodstock this year, and asked if I wanted to open up for the headliner. And I said, well, of course I would love to open up for the headliner if I'm in town. And I said, well, we'll see, and I'll see what I can do with it. And so that's at the Cottage VFW. And it just so happened the first time that TJ saw me perform was at the Cottage VFW. I was playing at Turner River Festival, and it was my very first year. I was doing 0 gigs for 0 money. Mm-hmm. And when we very first met, I think it was like the third time that we saw each other, or the second time, I was like, hey, I'm a musician. I just got asked to play this festival if you want to come see me. And he was like, oh, okay, I guess. So he came over from St. Louis to Cottage Hills, which is a culture shock, I feel like. And he came in, and everybody's got like just... Cottage Hills is an interesting town. Yeah. And and he comes in, and I was on stage, and he came in and sat down and watched me play my show, and met my mom afterwards, and the rest is kind of history. And I feel like that's kind of how the song starts. Of he walked into the bar and didn't know where the heck he was at, and I didn't know if he was going to show up or not, and and all the things that I've thrown at him over the years of, hey, I'm going to play down on Beale Street. And he's like, why? What do you mean you're playing on Beale Street? I'm like, we're going down to Beale Street. I'm doing all these shows and stuff, and, and going in Colorado, and I don't know. It's, so it's kind of our story that I sat down and I was like, man, it'd be really cool to like do a little intro before I play at Foodstock, say like, hey, it's been a really full circle, thanks to everything for TJ for always being there. And it's been some crazy years, but man, we've made it, and we've been on the road and doing all this stuff. And I immediately grabbed my guitar and it became a song. So it's a very close song to mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Very cool. Yeah.
You walked in that rundown bar in a town you never been before, not too far from where you grew up. Wasn't sure if you would show up. You walked in without a clue. My world stopped when I saw you. I was singing all my songs. There you were singing along. 'Cause now it's been 5 long years of blood, sweat, and tears get you where we are today. This life on the road, we've made it our home. some crazy years. You remember staying up all night, talking about all our dreams, talking about skipping town, go somewhere we won't be found. And all those nights dancing on Beale Street, I was playing just to earn my keep. All those nights under the Colorado stars, how'd we make it this far? 'Cause now it's been 5 long years of blood, sweat, and tears to get where we are today. This life on the road, we've made it our home. How the hell did we get here? Man, it's been some crazy years. How the hell did we get here? Man, it's been some crazy years.
I love songwriting, and I want to kind of do that myself, but it's like it's that kind of thing. Like I've got some stories, and and those, and obviously there's plenty of life, but it's like I've never found that, like there's never been that moment of like, oh, that's the story I need to write the song about.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's cool that you're just in the middle of telling it, and then all of a sudden you're like, I need to be writing this down. Like
Yeah. Yeah, because I was like, well, I'll just do like a little snippet. I'll just say like thanks for everything. And I was like, hang on, I think I could do better than this.
Yeah.
let me do a song.
Yeah,
But-
let me tell you about it. Here it
Yeah.
goes a little something like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, that's I mean, I'm really happy for you. I'm glad that that it's all working out. And so and you mentioned some of these things, obviously Beale Street and Colorado and the bus and all these, like it seems like you've got these ideas and you see them through, like
Yeah.
you've it's great that TJ's on board no matter how crazy they are. And well, what's some of those that are still waiting to be checked? Do you have what's some of your goals going forward for the rest of this year or next year? Like what's something that you would like to see happen?
So on September 27th, we're leaving and we're heading down to Florida, and we're going to live down in, it's like the Florida-Georgia line is where we're going to be living down at, and like 10 minutes from the ocean. I can't wait. But we'll be down there from probably I think it's like October 3rd, and we'll be there till like mid-April. And so I'll be down there playing music and hanging out in Florida and Georgia and South Carolina and wherever else down there.
Sure.
And doing basically everything we did out in Colorado down there, just enjoying the tropical instead of the snow and whatnot. And then
well, that's cool, like too, like kind of sprinkle a little bit around, and then you plant some seeds and you come back, you water that seed, and you come back to Colorado and hey, I got a new record, and
exactly.
So
so then after that, come April, the game plan is to head up the East Coast and hop state to state and go all the way to Maine and play in each state. I don't know how long we're staying in each state or how short, whatnot, but just go all the way up and see where it goes and keep writing. And
sure,
third album will be
Yeah.
following at some point. But
Well, that's a cool spot down there too. I got my brother-in-law lives in Jacksonville.
that's where we're going.
Yeah, and there's the original house that the Allman Brothers band was formed at. Is in Jacksonville there. It's like a historic site, but you can't. It's not like touring or anything. You can't go in there. But there's a plaque outside, and it's like, and it's for me. It's just kind of. I mean, obviously they're one of my favorites, and it's like. But to imagine like being in that room, like the early jam that became Allman Brothers Band, like it's wild to think about. That was in that living room, and it's like, and they became one of the, biggest touring bands, and it's like, just kind of wild. Like it just, so those kind of things are cool to see in that area, and I think they, of course they went on to Macon, Georgia area I think that's where they ended up getting a record deal up that way after they formed the band, but the roots in Jacksonville, and actually there's a cool Beastie Boys mural in Jacksonville also.
Really?
That you should check out
Oh,
while you're in there. So a lot of musical roots and stuff. I think Jacksonville is also home of Limp Bizkit.
JJ Dre and Mofro.
Yeah, yep.
JJ's just from right outside of Jacksonville.
So yeah, a lot of good music coming out of that area.
Oh yeah.
I love JJ. He's so good.
Yeah.
I didn't make it this time around. When he was in town,
We didn't either.
He just played at Chesterfield Amphitheater a few weeks back or whatever it was, and I wasn't able to make it. But he's one of my favorites, and
oh yeah.
I try to catch him every time I can.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I think you'll do well there. I mean, there's it'd be fun to, like I said, getting out there and meeting new people, and especially shopping this album around, getting to get some new ears on it. So,
yeah, super excited about it.
Yeah, and it's just fun down there. Like especially being that close to the water and stuff. Like, I could handle that.
Yeah,
I could handle the beach life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for you. I'm hoping that, like I said, it'd be fun to hear what inspires these next batch of tunes. But we got some good road songs coming up on this Time to Roam, and I'm excited for everybody to hear it. And again, September 15th on your streaming platform. And is there? Would you think about doing a music video or any?
I was just about to say there's a in studio music video that should be coming soon.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm glad you got to document some of that too. Like,
oh yeah, my handy my cameraman.
Yeah.
Thankfully, he was very busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, put him to work on camera duty, and so we'll see. I've been looking. There's a million videos. There's a million pictures and different angles, and everybody hopping around and doing everything. And so it'll be very interested to see. I'm gonna try to make it myself, so we'll see how well it goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
Nice. Well, yeah, I think that'd be cool getting like some of the visuals out for that, and actually recording the album and getting everybody a little sneak peek at inside the studio and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was always fun. And I mean, I think it'd be cool too. Like you're saying, we haven't really done a lot of it as far as under your music as Darian Poe, but it'd be cool to maybe make some special occasions when you come back around and putting together the band shows for make it sound like the record and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
When do some proper shows like that, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
And it's just nice to have that as an option. I mean, like I said, it's building these songs up and on this record and things, and having that as being able to show a little bit more and besides just your acoustic and stuff. So
Yeah, the game plan is to hopefully at some point find a band to put behind me, and they're going to be permanent behind me, and get this ball rolling and actually tour and actually do some real stuff with it.
Yeah, but that's I think that's the thing of a great song though, is like you can take all that away and it still holds up on its own on acoustic, you know. But it's like, so it's just, but you can always build up, you know. It's like what is, you know, or various levels of that. You can always, even if you just added, you know, had Aaron with you, have some, you know, fiddle and stuff or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately it's always comes down to the writing and as the backbone of it all. So
yeah, I think everybody will be very surprised when they hear these songs in a good way.
Yeah,
because it sounds good with a full band.
Nice.
I'll tell you what. There is one song that I think it's just Aaron and I. It's Some Crazy Years should just be. I think it's Aaron and I. I don't think there's. I know there's no drums, but I'm not sure if there's bass in it or not. But
and all original.
All original.
Yeah.
It's all Yeah. And a lot of it was flew by the seat of everybody's pants.
Yeah.
Everybody, I tried my best to coordinate everything from 15 hours away, and they did an amazing job in the studio, hopping in, and they were only supposed to do like 3 with the bass and the fiddle and the drums, and then we got in there, and I was like, what if we put everything on everything, because you guys sound amazing. So
yeah, they're all pros. They can.
Oh yeah,
they can run with it. So
yeah, they ran circles around me.
Yeah. Well, cool. We'll keep an eye out again. I'm sure we'll get pre-save link and all that stuff up soon. So I'll be sure to pass it along when I find it and all that. So. But anyway, I got a couple of questions I want to get your take on and see what you think about these. All right. So maybe, you know, being that taking adventures and things, is there something you tried but will never do again? Is there like... maybe even food wise or anything is certain thing come up that you're like, well, we're not doing that anymore.
The only thing that I can think of, and it's really stupid, but we went to the world's quote unquote, the world's largest water park in Denver. And I have severe anxiety and panic attacks. So I do not do well with heights or water slides. And I convinced myself to go down this water slide. And I was like, well, you know, when in Rome, just do it. We've been here all day. I think it was 4th of July. We drove down there and we got all the way to the top and I was psyched myself out. And I was like, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. And the guy was like, come on, get in the tube. So I got in the tube and it was the worst decision of my life going down that water slide. I screamed the entire way. I had my head down the entire way. I was not having it. And I got to the bottom and TJ was like, you did it. I'm so proud of you. How do you feel? I was like, I don't know why I just did this. It was awful.
Take me home.
Take me home right now. But no, it was a good day. But man, that was a hell of a time.
Yeah. Overcome your fear though, huh?
Yeah. Tried to at least. Right. It didn't work too well.
Yeah. I don't know. As you're saying that world's largest water park, I thought about that scene in Elf when the world's greatest cup of coffee, and it's, you know, congratulations everybody.
Yeah, we got there. It was a big water park. It was insane, but a lot of people I put it on Facebook and all that, a lot of people questioned. They're like, "Is it really the world's largest?"
Right.
Like, I don't know. I didn't measure it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think some of those
they just make it up.
Just a name. Yeah. I'm like, no, we don't have any actual proof. It just we thought it sounded cool. All right. What's a song you wish you wrote? Is there a certain one that you hear that you're like, damn, I wish that was on my record?
Man.
Or one that you'd like to cover sometime or something like that?
I feel like my favorite songs that I play out now that I cover are JJ Dre and Mofro. There's one, Hide and Seek. It's my favorite one to play. It's my favorite cover to play. I feel like I played it the other night out, and I had a drummer behind me. And, man, I just get into that song so much. I love that song. I've loved that song since I found out about JJ when I was a teenager. And that song is just, I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, big shout out again to JJ.
Oh, yeah.
Also, what I think is cool about him, I didn't mention earlier, but I saw him before at Chesterfield Amphitheater, and like maybe two years ago or something. And there was a moment where this little girl was on her dad's shoulders or something kind of thing. And I think he had maybe they met like VIP or something kind of thing or whatever, meet and greet. Because he acted like he knew who she was or something kind of thing. It was like enough to where I okay, I think he's met her before. But he reached out and handed her a pic and stuff. And I don't know, it was just cool that he's making memories that way and making this a special day for this little girl and her dad. And also, it was just and I don't know, that sticks with me because I think about the ripple effect that could have on this girl. Maybe she's like you in that open mic, you're I want to do that.
Yeah.
It's
oh yeah.
So I don't know. It was just it was a really cool moment to watch as a fan. And it just seems like I haven't got to meet him yet officially, but he seems like he's the coolest dude. So
he's very humble.
Yeah.
I got to meet him at Atomic Cowboy.
Nice.
And I walked up there and I froze because I had this whole thing that I was going to tell him, and you've inspired me. I've been to so many of your shows, blah, blah. And I walked up there and I was frozen. He was like, "Hey, how's it going?" I was "Hi." He's and I had a Sharpie in my hand. And he's like, "You want me to sign something?" And I was like, "Well, I had a poster in the car and I didn't know if I was allowed to bring it in, so I didn't bring it." And he was like, "So what do you want me to sign? Anything?" And I was like, and he looked down and I had some checkerboard Vans on, and he was like, "Take your shoe off." And I was like, "I don't have any socks on." And he's like, "Take your shoe off." So I took my shoe off and he signed my Vans. They're somewhere safe away that they'll be up in a recording studio one day. But he was so nice. He was so cool.
I saw him at Kansas City Knuckleheads, and we were front row, but it was on the patio stage outside there, and I brought my copy of Old Glory, and I was one of the techs or somebody saw me standing there with my record, and he's like, "Want me to get a sign?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that'd be awesome." And then so he took it back and I got the whole band to sign it, but I wasn't actually present when they were doing it. But it was cool that everybody signed my record. At least I hope it was them. The
guy's just back there signing it.
Yeah.
We're really good at forging signatures.
Right. So at least I have that. But and that's cool for me. But I was it would have been nice to be present with JJ as he signed it. But
one day you'll meet him.
Yeah. So I kind of, as you were talking, you were meeting JJ, I thought, because I just recently met Amos Lee for the first time at the pageant, and caught him back behind the pageant. He was doing a little signing with some people, and I kind of did the same thing. I was trying to play cool, but I know I probably didn't come off as cool as I thought I would. But I was the same kind of thing. I was just kind of nerded out, and I'm I just want to say thanks. You mean a lot to me. And so he was really cool too, and super chill, and just, and we got a picture, and it was nice that he took a moment to do that with the fans. So,
yeah.
But yeah, he's another one that's everything he does. I love like all of his music.
Yeah, that was the first show I worked at the pageant. I worked side stage for him.
Oh yeah.
And it was, I worked the side stage and I remember they were like, you're not allowed to look at the musician. You have to do your job. And I remember I just kind of looked over and like, this is really cool.
Yeah.
This dude's sweet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep. What about, is there maybe like a TV show you wish you were in, like as far as music? What you think? Where do you think a Darian Poe song would fit well? Is there like because a lot of these, especially now with all the different streaming platforms, all the different shows that we have, like there's always a lot of music in them and stuff. But is there any ever thought about that at all?
So I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't really watch TV.
Yeah.
I do, but I don't. I watched a lot of TV back home.
Just HGTV. You're watching all the, making all the for the bus and stuff.
Yeah, I definitely watch. I watch a lot of YouTube of like building buses and that kind of stuff.
Right.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of people like I've never seen Yellowstone or like any of that stuff, but I know like a lot of Zach Bryan and like Wyatt Flores and stuff.
Sure.
They're putting a lot of their music into it, but I don't know, probably something Western, something kind of, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm terrible at,
Well, maybe we need to start thinking about it. There's
a possibility.
Because that, I think song placement like that, like is huge. Like, we can really, especially like just, people that are, some shows are better about it than others, but when people are watching and like something happens when it's a great scene with a great song, you're like, makes you love that song even more because of what's going on the screen. And
I was watching a show a couple weeks ago. I think we got home and my mom was watching something and the Ava brothers were playing in it. And I was like, whoa, they must be getting real big if they're on this TV show. It was, I don't know what, it was like I don't remember what song it was.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I just watched Twisters and there's, they really did up the soundtrack for that with a bunch of country songs. And it was kind of cool that for the first time in a while, like a movie that really focused on a soundtrack, like produced, actually pushed it out as a soundtrack, like, and so, sometimes movies just have a song in them or whatever, but having a whole album.
Oh, they made that a big ordeal.
Man.
They had a lot of people on there.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. Like, it took me back to some of the 90s, some of the old, I remember it was exciting to go actually buy a CD of the soundtrack, Space Jam and Wayne's World. And
that's what TJ collects, a lot of records, and he's got like Almost Famous and Dazed and Confused, and he likes a lot of like music-based movies that are like their soundtracks and stuff.
For sure.
Yeah,
some good ones.
Yeah.
Like I always think about that too, like in Dazed and Confused, like obviously Sweet Emotion's already a great song, but you can't help but to think about the car coming through the parking lot.
Exactly.
So it's such an iconic visual with it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think, like I said, anything we can get more eyes and ears on some of your tunes, I think it's a good thing. So hopefully we can make that happen.
Couldn't agree more.
But come on out, join us. We got like I said, a whole run of dates here while Darian's in town, and please join us at Stagger Inn on September 14th. It's 6:00 or so, right?
Yeah, 6 to 9.
And they say it's acoustically perfect over there, so it's Stagger Inn. So the songs ought to sound real nice on there.
Oh yeah.
And and follow along on your Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for more info.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you doing this again.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It's fun catching up.
Most definitely.
Well, hopefully we can do it again real soon.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Darian.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.